Hi, it's me again with Corel Draw Tips and Tricks, and this is part 3 of this. We've cleaned up the text, we've cleaned up these two lines, and then this medical symbol, I learned a little bit looking it up. The V is for veterinarian, I'm thinking. So I found one on the internet uh, right there. Not real good. I didn't look real hard. It's pretty small. There maybe would have been some ones better, but the ones with the V, to get as close as I could, um, I think it looks pretty good, and it didn't take very long to clean it up after it traced. We're going to go ahead and trace it again. Clip art traces it okay. We'll move it out of the way and you'll see what it looks like. And there's just a few problems that I would go through and fix to make it look better. We need to select it, go to object and ungroup it. Ungroup it so we can use the shape tool. I would take out that node and get the snake a little bit rounder mouth. I would zoom in and maybe take this node and bring it back and actually even bring this one, make it look more like the original. There's a few problems, with this side. I would just hit those nodes and hit delete. And you could spend a little bit of time or a lot of time on it. Like there's a problem right there. So we just need to delete that. Right around here, if you look at the original, it's kind of a rounded shape and a flat around the V. So we're going to take that part and bring that node down, select them both, right click and turn them into a line, and then just bring that node down. And we could, you could use the align on here. But on here, we got a little bit of a curve. So I'm going to grab it and I'm going to maybe, bring it in. Tell you what, let's just take it away for a second. And pretty hard to make that a curve, I guess. Let's take another node, bring it down a little bit better. But just go through here and like on this V, I'm thinking it needs to be straight lines. So let's just select all these nodes and hit delete, 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 delete. And then if you'll grab that node, hold down the shift key and grab that node, right click and turn them into a line. It'll go back. A few other problems, or not really problems, but I delete these two. I take this one and delete these two. You could do a lot with this, and because of the V is kind of coming out of the V, so we want those to be lines. We'll grab both these, right click, turn them into a line. Don't really know what that's supposed to look like, but we could take both these, turn them into a line, and then we could uncheck it and bring that one back down. Kind of looks like it's, and you could just keep working on it over and over and over to make it look better. There's a little bit of problem at the top. I would just take that node away and then just replace. So group this together, Control G, and just replace it with the other one. And you can actually see the size difference, but the shape of the part. And, I don't know if he gathered this logo from the veterinarian that he's doing it for. But let's just put that there. That looks pretty good. Let's nudge it out of the way. Let's go ahead and delete this one. And then we can nudge that one back. If you ever can't find anything, you hit F4 and it'll show you everything on the screen and then just nudge it back. That looks a lot better to me. You could play around with that a little bit. Now we're going to do the dog and the cow and the horse. So let's get rid of these symbols and let's set our nudge factor on like 12. And I'm going to nudge this horse out of the way. The dog has some problems internally. So let's grab the dog and let's left click no fill, right click and outline, and you see the parts that are bad. Just take your virtual segment delete key and delete those. Delete that, delete that, delete that. You know, maybe you could leave the one at the leg because that might be a spot. There's some trash right there. There's some trash right there. We want to get rid of all the trash. Then I would take the X7 or above. You've got the smoothing tool. Let's set on 1 inch. And let's smooth this dog's head out. That's pretty good. You've got a little bit of, if you grab the shape tool, you can, that might be his eye, but it's too little for that anyway. Now we need to color this dog in with black. I think that looks a lot better to take away the outline. Now at that time, I'd go ahead and fix the horse's foot. That'd be pretty easy. Just grab it and put it into the dog. But then take it, well, you got it selected and go order back a page, and then the brown is behind the dog's leg. Bring the horse back in, and we can do the same thing now. We're going to take the shape tool and bring all these nodes from the horse into the dog. And you could do this several ways. You could change it and do the smart fill tool. But because the horse is behind the dog, that's all you need to do. Same thing on the cat. The cat and the cow, I would take the cow out of the way. I would clean up the cat quite a bit. The horse looked really, really good. I would maybe just take away some nodes. Maybe bring his ear up. And you could spend a lot of time. It almost looks more like a rabbit. And you could also try to get another cat off the internet and put it in that spot, unless, you know, the veterinarian has a particular idea on that. Maybe take out a couple of these nodes and just see what happens. That looks pretty good. Now bring the cat in back, or the cow back in. And what you need to do first is put the cow in the back of the page. Order back a page. That way, when you move the cow, and I wish I made a mistake here. I should have made a copy, because the cow and the cat are the same color. I'm going to make the cat black, and maybe what it was. And then just click on the cow. Click on the cow with the shape tool, and just move these same nodes like we did for the horse behind the cat, and everything else will be kind of hidden. I don't know if that's supposed to be a cow's tail or what that is, but you could go pretty far in, but just like delete that node and then bring the cow, delete that node, bring the cow into here. When you ever have a loop like that, you could grab both those nodes and right click and don't break it apart. Right click and turn it into a line, and then that won't be there. We need to work a little bit on that cat's head. But you could play with that, make it look quite a bit better. But now the cat, we need to do a little bit more on the cow. There's a spot that's still in front of the, and if you go pretty far in, it'd be better. I actually think maybe take these nodes and put them into the cat. You know, that might be his tail. You could elongate his tail. I think it's good to go. It's kind of hard to look at it in the with the page he's got set. And if you look really close, see that spot right there? You could take that out very easily by just taking and just selecting, or leave it. We got a little bitty bad spot right here at the cow's tail. You'd want to make sure you get rid of that. And by doing that, you could just hit delete and actually maybe bring this down you could actually add a node, bring it down a little bit further. That's his tail. That must be another leg. I remember a joke I used to tell as a kid, where people used to tell me, if you count the cow's tail a leg, how many legs does he have? And people would say 5, and you say just because you count it as a leg doesn't make it a leg. I think we're good to go. Mr. Jim, I'll actually send you this, and feel free to use it if you like. Might still need a little bit of work, but you're well on your way. Hope that helped. Thank you for watching.